Hello everyone, my name is Stanisław Frejak, I'm professional one dan, and this is the second round of the not the London Open tournament. Fang Chun is playing white, Zhang Yanming is playing black. The game starts with a few josekis. Yeah, then black kicked. And the next move of black was a bit unexpected. It's too early to play these moves. There is still an untouched corner with a corner approach, so it's good to play here or maybe there. A bit too early for this move. Maybe black hopes that white will answer, then white is a bit over concentrated, but white doesn't need to add a move. For now, no. For now, there are bigger moves. Then black plays the double approach, and we have an interesting variation. White attaches, and black invades the corner. So after the corner invasion, it's possible for white to just get a strong shape to the right side. But on the other hand, black gets a big corner. And also white's strength is maybe not perfectly located because white cannot build a moyo on the bottom side. But I think it's a normal choice to play like this. But in the game, white blocked, black crawled, and how to continue? Maybe some of you know an old joseki of wedging and playing here, but this is not a joseki. You should forget about it if you saw it. This is bad for white, and it's very easy to understand it. We can use Tewari technique. So let's get rid of these two stones. This is a bad exchange for white. It loses a liberty. And these two stones. Also a very, very bad exchange for white, right? Black wants to play g4 and white does not want to continue with f5. This is a normal joseki shape, right? Sans an invasion, let's say white had a stone here and then black played here, here. It's a joseki shape. All right, black has a stone next to white's wall, which is probably not ideal because it's a bit too close to the wall. On the other hand, black also can continue with Hane Connect, so black can use somehow that stone, even if that stone is to die. But then these other exchanges make it unacceptable for white. Instead, white plays from the corner. This is one of joseki moves nowadays. Black blocked, and the joseki follows. But white had also another option, which is also good to mention. White can cut here. Black cannot capture this stone because even though black gets a ponnuki, white gets a very, very big corner. It's too much. So instead, black needs to wedge and give white the other stone in a ladder. Now black can cut, and it looks like black got a very big corner. White needs to take the stone. So is this locally good for black? It might seem at first like this, but again, we can Tewari, and we can compare it with another joseki, which is quite well known. When black attaches, white can also cut, and again, black cannot capture white stone. So instead, black needs to connect, white captures the stone in a ladder. This is a joseki. So how to compare this and how to compare these two? Here it seems that black has a bigger corner, so it looks better for black, but it's a delusion. You can look again. What happens if now black wedges? White can play this Atari, but white cannot continue splitting black in the corner because black gets too much. So white's good move now is to capture the stone, and it becomes the same, just with this exchange, which white can of course make, and it is not a loss. So why does black not play like this? Doesn't black get a bigger corner? It might seem that this is better for black. So if you prefer it, then play this instead of the regular joseki. But in fact, this shape, even though it gives black more points, it leaves an annoying agi. Later, when white already captured the stone, white can go here, here, and then squeeze black. This would be good for white. So maybe instead black wants to jump out, but then white can cause a trouble in the corner. For example, get f2 in center, it's already a gain. And then still there is an agi on the outside. Black might play here to not give white liberties, but maybe white can still use this one, and still f2 is center. Still there is an agi. So there is an annoying agi. And that's why it's better to play the regular joseki, like this. So then again, if we look at this position, black can and should continue with this move, but then locally this is better than a joseki for white. Locally this is a little bit better. But maybe white didn't want to choose it because it seems that white is getting strength towards a boring side because black already has a strong group. On the other hand, if you change it in your mind, the order of moves, and if you think that the joseki on the left side was played first, and later white approached the corner of black, then I think that A is a good approach, the high approach, isn't it? And yeah, black creates a group, but white's Monuki is not useless. It can still be used to create a moyo in the center of the board. Later, white can still play a move like this. So white could choose this one. But instead, white played from the corner. Still, white has this option, but white didn't choose it. And now black strengthened the shape on the outside. Afterwards, white wedged, and black probably should play this tiger's mouth. How to judge this variation? Well, again, we can use Tewari. If we get rid of this stone and those, then as I told you before, black actually wants to play at b4 himself. It is half center. In this shape, for sure black is satisfied, but then if black needs to add another move here and white gets these important moves, then white might be already happy because black's h3 stone doesn't have much value and white's b3, b4 are an actual move. Yeah, f5 looks strange, it is an empty triangle, but white might be alright with this result. Black had also another option which would be a bit better than h3. Black should have connected, because this creates a problem for white. If white doesn't continue, then black can later cut. And if white continues, then how to continue? Play here, black can play from the outside. So the connection would be a good move for black, but black played this one, so white also could connect. Then black didn't want to play this move, even though it looks proper, but black played this one for the sake of endgame. If black plays this, then in the endgame this will be white center, but now a2 becomes gote. But there is a weakness in black's shape. It might seem like, oh, well, black is strong, so maybe black doesn't need to care about it. But in fact, better black should care. White played from the other side, and then black goes into the corner, a big move, of course. We get a Joseki, but black forgot to insert this Atari, and instead black connected immediately. So always insert such an Atari. In 99% of positions, your opponent will be afraid to start the ko. I don't know what black thought. Maybe black thought that white has a big threat around here, but this threat is not big. First of all, black gets so much in that other corner. And second of all, this threat doesn't even threaten to kill the group without ko. There is still a ko for life. So black can certainly play this ko, white will need to play here, and black can go out. This is good for black. So an usual Joseki is that black connects, white cuts, and then black gets a nice moyo on the top side. This is an expected outcome, but instead black just connected, which gave white that very pleasant hane. All right, after white cut, black finally played an Atari, but this time this Atari doesn't do much, because probably anyway black stone will be dead, so only black makes an exchange, which doesn't change anything. Yeah, black stone just dies. So that's unfortunate. Black got an inferior result comparing to Joseki, and then still added a move. And now the game reaches an interesting stage. It's not really clear what to play. So white hoped to play an exchange here, maybe an exchange there. If black is submissive, then white can get really a lot. But now black made a good choice and didn't answer. Because even if white splits black, black is safe on the right side. Black made sure that this is safe already before. And on the left side, black is also rather strong. So black doesn't need to answer. Black tries to expand the moyo on the bottom and also decrease white's moyo on the left side. So if white continued, black would be very happy to add a move around here. But white also realized that black's moyo would be very efficient. And instead of connecting, white played this reducing move. If black now answers, which is maybe a correct move, now white becomes the active one. White is developing dynamically the moyo on the right side. Black tried to decrease it, but this move is a bit suspicious. I don't know. Like it certainly looks at a weak point in white's shape, but white is relatively strong around here. And black is weaker on the bottom, in fact. White can maybe jump in. For now, white pushed, hoping to get these exchanges in center. Now black probably needs to answer, and white can do whatever white wants. But black didn't answer. And I think that it is a Great moment for white to just cut here. But white didn't want to risk, because in fact then the two stones might be in trouble, and yeah, we get a lot but we also lose a lot. And what if our judgment is incorrect? White was probably a bit comfortable in this game. White felt that the game is good, so maybe better not to risk. White answers black's move. Usual answer is from the top. Maybe white didn't want black to extend, I don't know. All right, then white plays from the top, and white still at the move. All right, so white finishes in gote. It's quite important to insert this, but maybe black was afraid that white doesn't answer. So now black played this one. But white missed such an opportunity to cut here. You see, if white cuts, then the weakness which we discussed before becomes an issue. For example, if black extends now, then white can play like this, and maybe we can expect a result like this. This would be great for white if white can squeeze black. Maybe black can go here. So maybe it is not as spectacular. But this seems to mean that white's extension at L6 is sent and black needs to go back. So probably it was better to not play that connection at C2, but just play at G2. Like this, black would be much stronger. I believe that if black had a stone at G2, then black wouldn't even use this push, because black can play more actively, probably like this or that, or just not play from this side but from the other side, because the right side is very strong. On the other hand, in the game, maybe black was afraid that if she plays here, then white can push and black cannot fight very strongly because of some weakness in the shapes. In the game, yeah, black has time to go back, but then white uses the weakness in black's shape. Very good move. If black connects, then maybe white just jumps. Black played from the other side, which gives white this descent in center. Atari, oh, so pleasant, because it looks like a double center, doesn't it? If white skips it, if white plays any gote move, then will white ever ignore this one? And later black has even a continuation. So white feels very comfortable to play it, and it's also difficult for black to ignore. There are not that many big moves on the board, so black answers. And now white's move has a double meaning. Not only it splits black stones, but also it has a very beautiful continuation at A. Black goes in from the other side. I feel very tempted to play this move because it connects the line and creates a moyo in the center, but white doesn't want to give black any target in this game, so white jumps out. Black also jumps out, and white creates a little base on the side. Peep and then kick. Yeah, maybe a good move. Otherwise, white can create a base and destroy black's base. But after this move of white, black didn't continue creating a base. Instead, black wedged, which looks a bit suspicious, because it only gives white a beautiful shape. It looks like an exchange inside, like stones which are basically neutral points, for a nice outside shape of white. But probably black's goal was to cut white, and unfortunately white continued actively. So now black can connect on the bottom, but black doesn't want to give white this cut. So instead black goes this way, but this gives white that beautiful double tiger's mouth on the top side. And black, in fact, should continue. This is a very big move, which creates a base, which also still destroys a base of white. White doesn't have two eyes, certainly, on the side. It doesn't play it, but then once white does it, black should feel very uncomfortable. For now, black puts pressure on white. I expected an attachment. It's a usual move, but I see that this time it doesn't really work because black probably cannot cut. Probably it just doesn't work for black. Yeah, so black plays a knight's move instead. Jumps, but we don't need to jump from these stones. They are not very important. We already pressed whites down. Even if these stones die, it doesn't matter. But they create already some agi, and this is already a gain. We should focus on the top side. There are weak groups there. Black jumps out, but then white probably plays on the top, yeah. So now black needs to run and white has a base. Black still adds a move, but this means that the game is comfortable for white because white has a big territory on the left side, all the side on the third line, and then still a territory on the right side. And I believe that now white will just reduce black's territory and will finish the game. Will have just more. First, white tries center moves, threatening black's group. Black answers. Oh, and white loses center. But this is a good chance for black to maybe fight back. But yeah, probably still we will be forced to just add a move this way. And I think that white might have just more. But black plays in the center. Apparently, black is afraid that the group can be still attacked. Sorry. Yeah, probably it can be attacked, but black needs to risk. Otherwise, black cannot win this game. If black just adds a move, then white jumped in, and now the last chance for black to somehow split white, but white simply connected everything and black resigned. Yeah, so interesting game. I think it became a bit better for white when black forgot about this Atari. This is important. Afterwards, the result is clearly worse than a Joseki. The bottom left was all right for both, but here it was a bit worse for black. And then, yeah, maybe still better to start from this side because it has a continuation against white shape. White didn't answer to black's move around there, right? So we should try to look for weaknesses on the right side, but instead we gave white the chance to play here first. Yeah, and then when white got strong on the right side and black gained only this little territory as a compensation, then the game already became good for white, I believe. Yeah. So that's it about this game, and see you. Bye bye.